It's time to gateway into your geats and babies. It's the weekly video series where I try to bullshit a video essay on Kamen Rider Geats that y'all enjoy. I hope you enjoy it. I enjoy making it, and honestly, that's all that matters. But I have been going on about a lot of different themes that the show's kind of been going on about, talking about, so on and so forth. Like the desires and the systems that would abuse what people want, that kind of thing. Taking advantage of those people in disadvantaged situations to prey upon that and and basically use the fact that they want something in order to just do whatever that you want to them. The DGP and its relation to the entertainment industry, how it reflects idol culture and fandom and parasocial relationships, and the breakdown of empathy and sympathy that can arise in those systems of seeing these pieces of it, seeing people not as people, but as just pieces of entertainment. The cruel give and take of the DGP, how very much like a lot of systems in our real world, it will take a lot and give to some select few, or give very little, but it takes and takes and takes. And the perceived idea that one can be stuck with a cruel system, how repeatedly the characters kind of go on about how the DGP is almost a necessary evil, how it is a valid thing to be around, how there's arguments to be made that if the DGP wasn't doing it, something else would be taking advantage of these people's desires, and it's better than no one else. Better than someone else, I mean. And how you can get stuck into this idea that there's nothing better. Like, why fight the system when, like, you can't fight the system, that kind of thing. And, well, this episode basically just takes all the themes I've been going, like, yes, this subtly hints at all this, and just lays it out on fucking Main Street. And basically just shows how all these different thematic elements kind of clash with each other and create conflicts in storytelling. Because the desire royale is just fucking gearing up. And our first through line is Sarah is recruited to join the game in order to get Kawa back. Understandable. She misses her brother. She wants her brother back. And she's given a chance to do it. Much how, like, people in the DGP before were probably just goaded into putting their lives on the line to get what seems to be get what they want. However, it seems to be a trick, because basically Kekara went to Baroba, got her in on the thing to bring back Kawa, with basically the idea that it's going to create maximum misery for Baroba to be entertained by. And ultimately, it seems because the siblings don't want each other to get hurt. Sarah joins the game and tries to keep Kawa out of it because she doesn't want him to get hurt again, all that kind of stuff. And Kawa is like, buddy, fuck that. My sister's in danger. And there's also like this another element of like, okay, they're both in a desire royale. There can only be one winner. One of them's gonna fucking die. And oh shit, it's probably Sarah because she has less experience, less power, and that's just gonna fuck up Kawa. Oh shit, Keikara's kind of a fucking asshole. Jesus Christ. Because it also just seems like he and Baroba just do not give a shit how they feel. A total lack of empathy, a total lack of sympathy. They only care about what they get out of the whole situation. However, Keiwa is back through, again, these dubious means, and he's put back in the game because, well, his sister's in trouble. And he's not gonna fucking... he's not gonna let her get hurt. So he's fucking running in here, big pissed. Jesus Christ, his sister's in danger, and he's just battering Ned Sparrow all the while. And then Buffa comes in and wrecks house because it's Buffa, and he has the power to destroy Kamen Riders. And what is Keiwa? A Kamen Rider. But Geats comes in, makes the save. They have a brief conversation. Ace wants to ultimately save his mom and destroy the DGP. It's like, nope. She's been tormented. This is bullshit. We need to stop this. And Keiwa rightfully, understandably, asked, like, okay, cool. What about the people who died? And we kind of reach an impasse of Keiwa, who wants to save as many people as he possibly can, maybe to the detriment of Ace's mom, while Ace fundamentally goes like, no, the whole system's fucked, we can't trust it anymore, we can't do it anymore, and saving my mom will make it so they can't do this stuff anymore. It's understandable why they both would go at it from the situation, and they're both right. That's the fucked up thing. Keiwa's right because, like, yeah, no, a lot of people died and suffered because of this, and if we could stop that, all the better. Ace is also right that if you just stop it now, they can't hurt any more people in the future. So it's a catch-22 on both of their things. They can't agree, and Ace just kind of walks away at this end of this episode. But yeah, Ace's beliefs really solidify to take down the DGP in its entirety. And yeah, he's playing the game right now. He's playing the Desire Royale, but it's Ace. It's very clear, it's very obvious he has much bigger plans involved in all of this. In fact, we even see some of that kind of maybe backfire on him as he's having a conversation with Samuri in the episode. And he's going like, yeah, no, I'm gonna save my mom and destroy the DGP and all that kind of stuff. As Samuri just looks very pensive, almost as if, like, if we're going by, like, the fan theories of what may happen, of, like, cool, you're gonna save your mom and they're gonna turn me into a statue. Like, she can be the next goddess of desire, and the system's going to be self-perpetuating, and ultimately Ace can't stop it. He can only save his mom and not fundamentally change the problem, you know? I don't know if that's going to be what's going to happen. I would be disappointed if, like, ultimately is like, the system can't be changed. It's like, no, it's Kamen Rider. You punch a Nazi. That's what you do. It's Kamen Rider. Punch the Nazi. But you know what you can't punch? Depression. Which is what Neon really has here. She's just in depression land, and is basically, she's fighting to wish for everyone to forget her so she can leave this place without guilt. And she's not even seemingly fighting the DGP, and that's fine. We all have our own struggles, and it's very obvious she is struggling with depression. And if we're being super honest with ourselves, this is suicidal thoughts. Like, yeah, she's not gonna die, she'll go into the future, and, like, it'll be... And, like, ultimately, it's kind of it's not suicide, but fundamentally, it is a suicidal thought of, what if I just disappeared from this world? What if I never existed in the first place? And yeah, no, that's something people struggle with. It can fuck with your head. Ultimately, Geats and Buffa both want to destroy the DGP. However, Buffa blames the writers, who in and of themselves are just as big as victims as any of the people who have been hurt because of the proceedings. they are taken advantage of, and they are used as bodies in entertainment and not treated as people. They are just casualties of this whole thing, but Buffa is ultimately holding them responsible in a way, but also not seeing any of the nuance with that idea, because he's just like, no, you signed up for this kind of thing. It's like, you know, especially with the people who we've been following, the characters we've been following, it's very much an idea of, you know what all this is going on, yet you signed up for it. I have no pity for you, kind of thing. Even though there is still, KOL wants to fight because he wants to save the people. It's understandable. It's reasonable. There's a conflict there. Geats, however, just wants to stop the system in its entirety. Just no more DGP. Fuck it. Just nothing. Which is much more respectable in a way. But ultimately, it is, I wouldn't, what's the right word? It's the Hail Mary. It's the nuclear option, you know? It is the, yeah, no, this is all fucked, burn it down. Well, fucking Kawa, he sees the evil that Ace and Buffa see, and he's like, yeah, no, the DGP's fucked, but, like, we should probably try and save all the people they fucked over first, too. But ultimately, then you're in a situation of using the DGP's power, the desire power, one last time, and it's like, is it worth the risk? Is it worth trying to save all these people if ultimately it'll just cause even more problems? It's a trolley problem. They're in a trolley problem. And all the while, there's people on the side, like Kekera and Baroba, who's just eating the popcorn as these human people are just struggling, trying to figure out the best way to solve the problem and save these people and, like, make a world a better place. And they aren't recognizing the human cost of it all. They are lacking that empathy because they're above it all, you know? They aren't struggling with it in the same way that Ace, Kawa, Buffa, Neon, all of them are suffering from, you know? Because ultimately, stopping the problem doesn't fix all the damage that has been wrought on these writers, on the writers of the past, on the people, on this world, just in general. The DGP is a scar, and it's figuring out how to ultimately heal from that is going to be the major conflict of, okay, cool, this is bad. How do we fix this? Well, do we save all the people? Do we stop it? Do we starve it of players, like Buffa wants to do? Starve the DGP of players, but just getting rid of them and being a big scary thing? Or do you take away the power in its entirety and make it so no one can save anybody, do anything like that? And then you have Neon just sitting here, just done with it all, just tired. And you can't blame her for that. Boy howdy, this episode was great. Really just laying out all the themes of the show, just putting it out there for everybody to see. And ultimately, that's a good thing, because we've been talking about how subtle it's been, how it's been playing with all these little bits and pieces, just laying out crumbs for us to pick up and morsel. And sometimes it's important to just say it, you know? No pussyfooting around, just say what you're meaning. Because ultimately, this is a kid's show. It's a show made for children. We are watching a show made for children, and that's fine. But we gotta understand and respect that fact. And because this is a kid's show, I wouldn't say kids are dumb. Kids are inexperienced with art. So sometimes laying out the themes is good, and just like showing a kid, like, this is why the story is doing this, you know? And going from subtle to plain text is, I think, a good thing, because it can teach kids to look into the story as like, oh, I understand the story more, and it teaches literacy and all that kind of stuff. I think it's a good thing. fun action, solid, like, choreography has been great for this season, cinematography has been great for this season, and hell, the performances were also top-notch for this episode. But I do have, like, a little interesting side note thing that's been popped in my head. Okay, so Kamen Rider seasons in the past have had off-the-wall, wacky comedy people or wacky comedy scenes with, specifically wacky anime-esque sound effects and anime-esque posing and the like for comedy, for side stuff. And I find it funny how Kamen Rider Geats, we have one person who does that with Chamari. I'm pretty sure that's his name, I can't remember. The second game master. And he's doing all these things, but it's purposefully made for the audience. We are meant to understand, it's like, this is annoying. This is grating. And I find it interesting that it's not being played for comedy, it's being played for showcasing how kind of out of touch he is with the people around him. I think that's interesting, you know? But hey, you know what's also interesting? My videos. So, help me out by leaving a like, commenting down below, subscribing to see it, and many more. You can also follow me on a variety of social media platforms, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, at Boingo_Rider. You can follow me on Tumblr. The link is in the description. And, hey, you want to know something big, beautiful, and grand? I stream on Twitch Mondays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Check Twitter and Tumblr to see my schedule. See what I'm doing. Also, hey, you can join the Discord server. We talk about a variety of things there. Toy news, random TV shows, anime that we're watching, music, anything and the like. We just hang out, just talk. It's a big old group chat. But hey, that's not the end of this video, because we got fucking comments. First up from the Fish Pop. Oh, look at Fish Pop. Oh, look, a whole bunch of ID cores for writers we'll never see. The Caucasian bodyguard is British. It's nice they got to speak English for once. And damn it, we got blue balled on their writer forms again. Buffa kind of gives me Darth Vader vibes. Mainly when Jean was on his back and he just tanked the finisher attack. While Ace did wish to always compete in the DGP, so of course he is back. Yeah, I have a feeling if someone just declared any game a DGP, Ace can just show up and go like, hey, what's up? I'm here to play the game. And yeah, Buffa is given some Darth Vader vibes, but it's like if Darth Vader was also a horror movie slasher villain, because this dude has a fucking chainsaw. This man is a Japanese chainsaw menace. The joke was Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I just wanted to be sure of that. Sometimes you have to dissect the frog. Next up from Blaze Chaos. This was a slow episode, but it's alright. Looks like Buffa got a power-up he needed to be able to keep up with laser boost power-wise, being able to demolish Jean with relative ease. It's also, it's funny that the worm strategy failed this time. Whoa. Does this mean that Dunkless the Yamato can only beat Buffa, since the power-up is not really meant for dealing with Yamatos? Sad that we don't see the helmets of Gurren Lancer, Honore, Toei. Desire Royale will start, and Tamori is said to have her powers awakened. Does this mean that she will replace Mitsume? Also, Daichi is in the next episode, seemingly becoming a regular player. And man, Kikara is fishy. I wonder if he's the reason why Sarah will be joining the Desire Royale soon. This comment will be short, since there's not a lot happening in this episode, but it's fine. Hey, I appreciate every single fucking comment. Comments are cool. Comments are pretty dope, one might say. But yeah, no, Yamatos might be the key to beating Buffa. Who knows? There might be something there, and that might just be like the Yamatos beat him down enough, and then Ace will do like the finishing blow, because he's Ace, he's the main character, you know. And yeah, no, it seems like everybody's just really sad that we didn't get to see John and Ben's rider forms. I hope we get them eventually. You know, I hope we get them at least once. At least once. Toei, come on, Toei. You've teased us. Everybody wants to see it. And oh boy, was Kekera fishy. This man, this absolute menace to society, fucking up these siblings of just tricking Sarah into it in order to get Keiwa back, and then just going like, oh yeah, Keiwa, your sister's in danger. Fucking be a Kamen Rider. Just no. Here's the thing. If you've been watching my Quest for King Oger shorts series, where I just briefly go over King Oger, you know I have a soft spot in my heart for absolute shit like absolute little shit dudes, you know? Like, the guys who plan and scheme and, like, I got it all figured out. That's why I like Ace. You know? He's a guy who, like, comes up with a plan and goes like, yes, I fucking caught you with your pants down. It's like, oh yeah, I love shits, right? I love these fucking assholes. Because the Black Ranger and King Oger, that entirely, it's just plan after plan. It's just like, yes, I wonder. And he's fucking brilliant with it. I love him. Kekara's, like, little shit but asshole, and I don't like it. Like, fuck him. Fuck you. Fuck you and your fucking froggy ass. How dare you pit the love of these people against each other and for your own entertainment? Like, I don't care if you did it for a good reason, or if you're like, no, Keiwa's the only one who could save the day. It's like, no, you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to do that. You, like, oh, it's the only way to bring Keiwa back? No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was the easiest way to bring Keiwa back, you fucking asshole. Thoughts and opinions, everybody. Thoughts and opinions. Next up, from Ray Near. Good day. I have been watching every review from the start, and I'm entertained. Upon realizing that the third season of DGP, The Desire Royale, was used in the movie Geats vs. Revice, not versus, X. The X Revice, in which the Game Master on the show currently has the same appearance as the movie. In the movie, Gurogi is still alive. The first Game Master we see, he motioned the Game Master retiring, which could mean that the Desire Royale might be the original DGP before the DGP, and could be the reason the Goddess creation now exists. I think the Desire Royale Game Master has the same mask as the Goddess of Creation flashback. Now, I'm not hoping for it, but it'd be nice to see if Kamen Rider Seeker would appear in the show. Well, we got to see, like, the little flashback of the movie, and we saw him there. So, kinda, he was here. But yeah, maybe Desire Royale is kind of like the original idea, because we did see, like, the Gladiator idea. And so maybe it was, like, Desire Royale. It's like, oh shit, this is a little hardcore. And then they did the DGP with, like, the Gladiators and stuff. Like Gene said, like, Gladiator, like, the softer kind where no one died. I haven't seen the Geats Revice movie yet. I plan to. In fact, little hint of the future. I plan on making a much more fully scripted video for that. And I'm getting a buddy to help me out with some parts of it. Ooh-hoo, hint, hint. Who might it be? Vacuuminator! You can watch his videos! Link in the description in the corner! Weird! That's a weird cough I just had. Oh, Lord. Watch his Tokusatsu podcast with Buster Core Modular Media. Wow, I really need to get some lodgings for that cough I just had. So, yeah. Also, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And thank you for leaving a comment. It's so nice. So nice, you know. Buddy. Next up, from Esconde. Even if it takes a V Cinema to do it, I hope John and Ben get the suits and fights that they deserve, and I'll keep rooting for them. I find it interesting that Michinaga echoes to Neon the sentiment Ace told him before. You're better off not knowing. I do respect that he admits to his hypocrisy and being just as bad as the DGP when called out for it by Chamari, and his methods of eliminating riders are non-lethal at least, even if I still want him to get beaten down by Yuya Takahashi style. The exchange between Jean and Kekara was some nice insight, showing more of Jean's growth as a person thanks to his interactions with Ace, and Kekara saying he'll be getting things done his own way rather than joining the power contest. What is his frogman cooking? I think others may have mentioned and theorized it already, but Sumuri having a hand in bringing Ace back makes me wonder if Ace wishing her to be part of his family could have also connected her to the goddess, and that granted her power. Either that, or there's a link between Navigators and the goddess going off of Suri's words about her awakening. Finally, I love how the last action shot flips the usual tropes on the hero's return. The episode starts with no opening since it's safer when Ace triumphantly returns, except his transformations without any of the usual flair, snapping, and sets sights on Shamari. The DGP are continuing to reap what their hubris has sown now that their champion has turned on them. Genuinely, I was at first hesitant to think like, oh yeah, John and Ben could get a V cinema or anything. It's because like they're weirdo side characters, and I think I was going like, oh, they're probably only like the Western fans are probably their biggest fans, and it's just like, oh, it's cool to see like a white dude and a black guy as fucking Kamen Riders. That's fun. That's cool. It's nice to see them in here. And I was going like, yeah, no, we're disappointed, but like nothing might not be done with it. And then I was like, oh shit, there's actual Japanese fans who are upset they didn't get a thing. And it's like, oh, that's, maybe they'll get something later. And then the specials were announced for Punk Jack and Tycoon and Shinobi, and I'm going like, okay, I'm not saying like it's gonna happen, but like I'm a little bit more confident that we may get something. Not 100%, not even like 50%, like 30% of me is going like, maybe we could get a Ben and John fucking thing. That would be really cool. I don't know. I think it'd be fun. Also, if it's like majority English, that also would be cute. There's a lot of just interesting, just small character growth throughout this whole thing. One thing that just should be said, Buff is a bull. Buff is a bullheaded guy. He's angry, and he's going into this whole thing headlong, and he's not caring about the destruction that he wrought, because ultimately he recognizes his own hypocrisy, but he also kind of, I think, also focuses on the hypocrisy of other writers, of like, he going like, oh, you should know what you're getting into. I'm destroying you. Doesn't matter. Like, to Buff, I think it's hypocrisy fighting hypocrisy, which is interesting. And with Sumuri, I think it might be both. Like, yeah, she was a navigator, but also like she's now connected to like the desire goddess. It's like, I think it may be like a 1-2 combo. You need both. But boy howdy, with this episode and her kind of like looking pensive when Ace is going on like, yeah, I'm gonna free the goddess, I'm gonna free my mom. She's like going like, oh god, they're gonna turn me into the goddess, aren't they? But I also like appreciate her just going like, instead of just going like, no, you can't do that, I'll be hurt. It's like, you know what? That's what he really wants. He wants to save his mom, and that's ultimately a good thing because she's been hurt all these years, and it's like, oh man, Sumuri, like you haven't had a lot of character growth for a good bit, and you're just getting a lot in like 2 episodes. That's really cool. It's a little lackluster because you could have like sprinkled it out throughout, but hey, it's really cool that we're seeing some more Sumuri and some character interactions and all that kind of stuff. And I want to point out, because I think it's interesting, how a big trope, like, I wouldn't say it's a trope of Kamen Rider. To me, a part of Kamen Rider, what is intrinsic about it is ultimately a Kamen Rider is using the powers and abilities that the bad guy is using, but is using it against them. Ichigo was turned into a cyborg by Shocker. Double is running away with the power of the Gaia memories, the Astro Switch. Like, ultimately, the powers of a Kamen Rider come from the bad guys, and it's being used against them. In this way, as we are one to say, the DGP is the bad guy here, Geats' whole arc is becoming that Kamen Rider of taking the power that the bad guy uses and using it against them, which I think is a neat way to like explore a season of Kamen Rider. Do I want every season to be like this? No. No. But having an entire season just based around like that first interaction of like taking the power, embodying the power, and using that power against evil, I think is interesting. I think it's an interesting idea. Next up from Sakura Tora. I also enjoyed the episode and how everything is lining up. I think Buffett is right, but going about it wrong and still not thinking fully about the end game or results of his actions. He is stubbornly pursuing his wish since beginning to end, and it hasn't changed. You're right, he knows he's a hypocrite, but he doesn't care because he will do anything to get his desire. He since the beginning has always tells you exactly what he is and follows up with his actions, compared to Ace, who tells you one thing and his actions tell a different story. Ace is right and seemingly now on the bad guy side by working with a person who could be considered villain-ish, but we already know he's probably plotting and will temper his actions. I won't go into the others because I think it is set up for episode 34. Just interesting to see how each have a measure of being right, but the path they are using it is 100% not in the right. Not 100% in the right. It is interesting how Neon recognizes that person without her memory, and a big part of herself isn't truly her, and tells Kyun to help her remember next time. Just like she is her own person, not just a copy of Akari. Samuri is starting to have feelings for the players, so she won't be able to live up to her name and keep her eyes close to the action of DGP much longer. And it seems that Seru has a plan for the replace Mitsumi and the DGP with her and the Desire Royale. With the way things are heading, I can't see a happy end for everyone. Yeah. It's stubborn bull versus clever fox. The Buffalo will just rush headlong and break things, but Geats has a plan, and we definitely see like he is scheming something up a storm. Like I think it was made to look like Buffa and Geats are teaming up. They're not. They're just, if we look at how the players are viewing the DGP right now on a scale, on one end it's like the DGP has a right to exist and I'm going to use the desire, I'm going to get what I want. On one end, that's like Ned Sparrow. He's like, I don't give a shit if people get hurt. I just want knowledge and information. It's like, that's all he cares about. And on the far other end is the DGP is wrong, evil, and needs to be destroyed. And that's where Buffa, Geats, and Kawa are. Right? But it's also like, I think Buffa is at the very end. He's just pure destruction about the whole thing. He doesn't give a shit. Geats is right before him in terms of like extreme, because he's like, the DGB is wrong, evil, but I need to save my mom. And Kawa's like right before him because he's like, I need to use the DGB to save as many people as I possibly can. And right in the middle, I think, is Neon, because she doesn't, like, at this point in time, she's kind of checked out. Again, understandable. She has depression. She's having an existential crisis about this whole thing, and she's just like, I just need to get out of here. It's all kinds of fucked. This whole, damn you DGP, why do you gotta fuck with people? You know? But also it's like Samori's growing godhood and relationships with Ace and all that kind of stuff. It ultimately may be all that kind of things, but also it's like, if Samori becomes a goddess, well, Ace is a white kitsune, and there is that connection of like kitsune being messengers of the gods. I think that could be cool. That may also be where we're heading with all that kind of stuff. So yeah. And finally, from Toa Nui, I'm a little disappointed the two bodyguards didn't get to transform again, but we didn't got to transform, but we didn't get to see their forms look like, especially since I heard that they are fans of the franchise. But oh well. Also, I wrote this before watching the vid, so yeah, completely agree. They completely agree is because I said they got robbed. Context. It looks to me like Buffa is actually showing a bit more of his noble side, considering he's only destroying the cores and not actually killing the riders, as well as the fact that he tried to stop Neon from touching the ID core, which I kind of feel like he did to save her from having to remember the truth, considering how he said he wanted better, she was better off not knowing. Also, it does seem that he is doing all this in service of taking out the real problem. So on the Geats note, I really get the feeling Ace is coming back is going to be treated as a monkey paw scenario, as it seemed to me like it was framed as a bad thing with how he returned. Also, I'm not going to make my reference to Keiwa yet, as it's not officially back yet. You can make the reference now. On the topic of Keiwa, more specifically his sponsor, I think if my crackpot theory is correct, Kekara would be the one who would be an Ace reincarnation, as he's only one so far who hasn't had a lesson from Ace. But more on topic, I actually think he might be more than just a sponsor, considering how he acted here and his lack of action in the last set of episodes. I haven't actually brought this up before, but me and my mom have had a joking theory that Samuri is actually the daughter of the last navigator, and now I'm thinking that joke might actually come true, since she seems to say in potential powers as the goddess, which would be funny to me, because part of the joke me and my mom were making was that the goddess was Ace's mom and Samuri was her daughter. And that would just mean back when Ace wished for the DGP staff to be his family, she was already technically his sister before the wish. Lastly, I just realized as I was watching that there are still Jumano roaming around the world, and I get the feeling that's going to become a problem soon. It's going to become a problem, because twofold. Jumano are fucking pissed. It's like, fuck all this shit. You abused... The DGP used us, Baroba used us, we just, fuck humanity, fuck this, fuck you. It points to Archimetal and go like, you're cool, fuck you, fuck you. And that's definitely going to be a big fuck you to Buffa, because remember, he has the power to fight Kamen Riders, not Yamato, as, who pointed that out? Whomst pointed it out? I think that was Blaze. Yeah. Blaze Chaos. Blaze Chaos pointed out. I was like, yeah, Yamato's might be the key to beating down Buffa. Which could be a thing. Yeah, no, I think it'd be funny if, like, ironically, Samori and Ace just happened to be siblings as well. It's just like, oh yeah, you're both siblings. Yeah, no, I made the wish. No, you were siblings before that. Oh. Okay. It'd be funny. I don't know if that's the direction they're going, but it'd be cute. Yeah, no, Kekara. At this point in time, I don't think Kekara is Ace. Because I don't think Ace, who has gone through all of this character growth and development, would treat Keiwa and his sister like that this episode. Does Kekara have a bigger plan in his back pocket? Probably yes. Does it mean that he could callously throw their lives away like that? No. That was one of the earlier lessons fucking Ace learned in this season. You know, it's the idea that human life matters, and you can't just throw it away because of your wants and your desires, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, Buffa is fighting the Kamen Riders of basically, you should know better. Why are you even participating in this? Get fucked. And he is destroying their cores, which certainly is destroying them to an extent because they are disappearing and all that kind of stuff. Are they just going into the goddess for wish fuel? Probably. But I think Buffa would be much more happy if they didn't do that. Like, if he just destroyed their core and they were just there and he's like, alright, cool, get fucked. Like, that's his ultimate goal. He just doesn't want them to be Kamen Riders anymore. He just doesn't want them to fight anymore. And it's just like a sad thing that he get fucking turned into wish magic, you know? So yeah. It's kind of fucked. A lot of Kamen Rider Geats. It's kind of fucked. That's the tagline for this show. It's kind of fucked. But that is it for this episode of Gateway to Geats. I thank you for watching, and I thank everyone for leaving comments. And hey, remember, you could leave a comment yourself, and we could have conversations about everything that's been going on. Like, subscribe, do all the things. Hey, click the bell. Get notified whenever I post a video. I post good videos, I think. Follow me on social media platforms. Follow me on Twitch. See when I go live and stream. I've been playing Cassette Beasts, which is a damn good game. If you like monster collecting games, play Cassette Beast. It's really fun so far. Also, I've been doing some art, so yeah. In fact, here's a little doodle I made of Geats. Here you go. It's not great, but I try my hardest. So, till next time, keep on Geatsing.